Excellent, excellent. Hello and welcome to the fifth and final Hangout on Air for the Fall 2016 application cycle of igniteCS. With us today we have Bon, who is our marketing lead, as well as Kelly, our instructional designer with igniteCS. You guys want to talk a little bit about how our igniteCS applicants and mentors can use you guys as a resource?
Yeah, of course. I mean, for the marketing aspect, it's always about helping you guys able to recruit the mentors that you need and being able to properly recruit the mentees so that you have a functional program of who to work with and how to work with them. So working in terms of marketing and recruiting, being able to converse and convey what you actually need so that the program runs and how to reach that. So I'll be able to help you guys and figure out what logistically in terms of how to reach, your potential audience so that we can get the ground moving and just start driving.
All that good stuff.
And then if you have questions about instructional design, meaning questions about what kind of curriculum is out there I can use that's popular, that's for the right age group, that's for, the kind of number of sessions, questions about how to evaluate. So in other words, how do you know your learning is working? What kind of questions to ask? What kind of things can you plan to make sure by the end you can measure your impact? So all those kind of questions you can direct to me.
And I'm Sloan, the student and faculty lead for this coming cycle of igniteCS. So any questions that you have as students or faculty advisors participating in igniteCS, send them my way. We'll be seeing a lot of each other over the next year. So for those who might be seeing our Hangouts on Air for the first time, igniteCS is a Google initiative that provides funding of up to $10,000 and resources and support to college and university students who want to make a difference in their local communities through computer science mentorship. So you design the program that best meets the needs of you as a group of undergraduate students, as well as the needs of your community. Tell us what you need to make that happen, and we give you the green light and all sorts of help and resources to make it happen. There are some baseline eligibility requirements that all igniteCS aspiring programs need to meet before they can apply to igniteCS. The first being that you must have at least 5 undergraduate students from an accredited college in the United States or Canada who are ready to author the application. 2 of those must be student leaders. Student leaders are the kind of go-betweens between an igniteCS program and the Google igniteCS team. They're the folks who convey important details, really help drive the program forward. And those 2 student leaders, one must be an upperclassman, a junior or senior, and one must be an underclassman, a freshman or sophomore. So when you've got your 5 mentors, 2 of whom are student leaders, then you also need an advisor. You can have an advisor from your college or university, or you can have an advisor from your community partner. We'll get a little bit more into that later. And then you must have a plan for at least 5 sessions. We really want your igniteCS mentorship programs to be ongoing and have a lasting impact with the community mentees that you choose to work with. So at least 5 sessions where you meet with your mentees. And kind of a pinnacle of igniteCS is the concept of inclusion, that your igniteCS program fosters an inclusive environment for students who are typically underrepresented in computer science. Check out our website, g.co/igniteCS. Under the FAQ, we talk a little bit more about that eligibility requirement and what it means for your igniteCS program. I know you guys are probably getting tired of hearing me talk, but I really want to talk a little bit about our amazing partners that are joining igniteCS for this funding cycle. Partners, educational technology companies, and folks who work in the STEM fields partner with igniteCS to show their support for you and all of the hard work that you do in increasing meaningful access to computer science. So partners provide funded programs with discounts to their materials. They serve as guest speakers for your igniteCS program if you want to bring someone from the STEM industry to speak to your mentees or even to your group of mentors. And some of them are contributing some goodies as well. So this year we're working with GitHub Education. GitHub is a place where people work on software together, find collaborative solutions through programming. And I wish I could show you guys the super cool mountain of boxes that is currently underneath my desk with all of the fun stuff that they've provided for funded igniteCS programs. We're also working with LittleBits, and LittleBits is a platform of easy to use electronic building blocks so that you can invent anything. And really anything. Like, I've seen so much cool stuff come out of LittleBits. So they're providing a 10% discount to their online store, which you can find at littlebits.cc. We're also working with Particle. They have Wi-Fi and cellular connected microcontrollers and an internet button so that you can have ready-to-use Internet of Things devices right at your fingertips. They're generously providing a 15% discount to their online store at particle.io. We're also working with Joy Labs, who's providing a 40% discount on Makey Makey Classics. And Makey Makey started as a student project at MIT and has evolved into this movement of creating confidence around invention literacy. So I know I'm excited to play with Makey Makeys and like make game controllers out of leftover food in my fridge. Like, I'm so excited for that. And up next, our next partner is VidCode. They have an online learning platform where teens can learn to code by creating the things they love, like Instagram filters or memes. They even released like a Pokemon game that you can code after the fury that was Pokemon Go. And so VidCode is providing a 25% discount to their classroom pack, which gives some really amazing insight for educators being able to see the progress of the mentees or students who are using their program. And our newest partner that we actually just synced up with this week is Goldie Blocks. They have an amazing repertoire of games and toys that aims to decrease the gender gap of participation and interest in STEM. And Goldie Blocks is providing a 40% discount to their brand new curriculum tools. They have designed entire curricular activities in a box for grades K through 3, so ages about 4 to about 8. And so you can grab one of these boxes, open it up, and it's got all the lesson plans, all the equipment that you need. These things are phenomenal. They just launched this week. So you can check those out at goldieblocks.com. And actually, after the end of this Hangout on Air, we're going to be updating the description of this YouTube event with all the links to our partners, so you can do a little bit more exploring on your own. Okay. I could talk forever about the partners, but I don't want to exclude you guys. So today our focus is finalizing your igniteCS application. And we're going to be going over some common application issues, some things that we want to be in your mind as you're creating your application, as well as some questions that we've been receiving over the last month from interested applicants. What are some kind of best practices when it comes to creating an igniteCS application?
Yeah, so really the big picture question that we are trying to answer when we look at your application is it a program that looks like it's going to get off the ground as you anticipate? And so, you know, we're looking at your budget versus what your curriculum is. Do those align? Are you, you know, accounting for all the tools or any equipment that you'll need that you're going to teach with? Is all of that considered and itemized in your budget? You know, consideration of the number of sessions and mentors, mentees, all of that we're looking for. And as you've also, some of you, if you've started, you've noticed there's a little character limit in those application forms, and that is to help you be clear and concise. You know, you don't need to get too wordy or long. You know, we're not looking for verbosity, but just your clear idea of what it is you need, what you're trying to do, and those fields allowed. Yeah, so those are some things.
A few other things also is that we want to communicate or have communicated to us more than what you plan to teach and how you plan to spend your money. So for examples, you know, your outreach plan, how are you going to actively recruit mentors? How are you going to actively recruit mentees so that you can have this program running the way that you guys foresaw it to run? Leadership structure, not just having that one upperclassman and one lowerclassman, but also having, you know, the divvying of the actual the structure of who's responsible of doing what, and making sure that it's not stacked onto one person or the other. So, in case someone is absent or is unavailable,
That's a great point.
you have someone that can just fill in that role. Another thing is also the planned logistics, not just figuring out where you're going to go, but how are you going to get there? How are you going to either bring the mentors to the mentees, or is it going to be a central location that both the mentees and the mentors have to commute to? And also, how is that going to be paid? Is that going to be something that will have to come out of the budget, or is that something that you're going to have to communicate with, and facilitate with the other parties involved, as well as your plan for the program beyond just this iteration. So making sure that you can create some type of legacy moving past just this semester, or however long that you saw that this program goes for. You want to make sure that if this ends, can you continue moving forward in the future, and how are you going to get there? So all these items are included in the program description, and you can find this rubric for the application. All this info is at g.co/ignitecs.
You brought up some really great points there. I know last week we had talked a little bit about these kind of program logistics questions, so we definitely encourage you to check out our last Hangout on Air from September 8th, about dividing tasks in your program into work streams and sharing tasks between different groups of mentors, and specifically about the plan for the program beyond just this year. We really want you to become kind of a fixture in your community of advocating for access to computer science education in meaningful ways. So we definitely encourage you to think about how you'll expand your program for future cycles. If you plan to do 10 sessions this year, are you going to do another 10 sessions the next year? I certainly hope so. Yeah, as I said, check out last week's Hangout on Air to learn a little bit more about these kind of logistics pieces that we look for in the application. Jumping specifically to budget, there are a few best practices there as well. So we ask you to complete a budget template, which has specific line-by-line requests for what do you plan to buy, how many, what's the cost, what are you using it for, why is it important for your program. So with those line items, we're really looking for an item-by-item list of what you plan to use in your program. So that can be, saying something like, we need $1,000 for supplies. That's not quite enough information for us. What kind of supplies? Why are they important for your program? If you need things like pens, wires, and microcontrollers, don't lump those all into supplies. Put those in 3 separate line items. And how many of each one do you need? And what is the cost for one of them? Really looking for discrete item-by-item listing of what you plan to spend your funding on, as opposed to these kind of big and ambiguous budgets. We also realize that some programs might already have some things in their possession that they want to use, or that they have other funding, maybe from their student organization or from previous fundraising that they had done, or maybe something's getting donated to your igniteCS program. If that happens, we want to see that included in your budget template, because if you're teaching robotics and you already have the robots, list that on your budget template, because otherwise we're going to come back to you and say, so you're teaching robotics, but you don't have any robots listed under your budget. Doesn't sound like you're going to be able to teach robots without any robots. So, even if those items are donated or you already have them, put them in the budget template, list it's the quantity that you need, why it's important for your program in that description. We still want to see those there, but if you already have it, of course, you're not requesting funds for it. Another piece is that what do you plan to do with your igniteCS purchases after your program ends? So one of the things we ask is this a one-time cost, meaning you can reuse this item, or is it not a one-time cost, meaning you're going to consume it throughout the course of your cycle? For things like markers or craft supplies for decorating your projects, those things are definitely going to be consumed, so not a one-time cost. But things like robots, if you plan to use your LEGO Mindstorms next year when you run your igniteCS program again, let us know that. We're going to hold on to these in our student organization so that we can use these again in the future. We do really want to see that you've thought about this program not just in the context of delivering mentorship, but also what comes after that. I think that's most of what we wanted to kind of hone in on as far as application best practices. Anyone have any other thoughts? Yeah, I mean, as Bon mentioned previously, you can find explicit information about what we're looking for in applications at g.co/igniteCS under the application info section. And of course, please contact us with your questions as you're finalizing your applications. We will be on call all weekend to answer your questions, so send them along to ignitecs@google.com. Reminder that applications do close this Sunday, September 18th at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. So just a friendly reminder.
Don't forget.
Or Bon will come for you. No, I'm just kidding. He's so nice. Let's go into some of the questions that we have received from applicants over the last month. I have been so impressed with the quality of questions we've received. It's clear that folks are really interested in igniteCS and putting some really critical thought into their applications. One of the most popular questions that we get is, how are the igniteCS funds dispersed? Do I need to give you my personal bank account? Does every mentor who participate get a cut of the budget? Not quite. So you tell us how much money you need and what you need to spend it on, and we say, awesome. What happens next is that the funds are dispersed through a nonprofit organization by means of your igniteCS advisor. So if your advisor is a professor in your computer science department, they will be listed as the recipient of the funds, and they help find the best nonprofit associated with your institution. So for many schools, that's the Office of Grants and Research. For some schools, that is the University Foundation. Some igniteCS programs set up their own nonprofit for either their igniteCS program or for their student organization who runs the program. Really, your faculty advisor will help you find the best nonprofit through which to disperse the funds. The most important point about dispersing funds is that igniteCS funds are awarded as a gift, not a grant. So with grants, things are required, like if you don't spend the money a certain way, you have to give it back. You have to give us this report. You have to take this thing. But with a gift, once we award you the funding, we don't have any expectations of what you do with that funding. We certainly request that if you're interested, you complete a few activities along the way during your igniteCS program, but the funds are dispersed as a gift, which is an important thing to communicate to whatever the nonprofit you're using for the fund dispersal. Who else has a popular question we've received?
A good question that comes up also is, can graduate students participate? And the answer is, of course, absolutely. Graduate students can participate, but they do not count for the 5 initial mentors that you need that are undergraduate. So they can help with mentoring, they can help with building the program, but they are not counted as mentors of the program.
Yep, you need 5 undergraduates for your application to count towards that eligibility requirement. Then whoever you involve after that point, graduate student or not, we certainly welcome them.
Mm-hmm. Another question we get is about the advisor. Can the advisor, does that advisor have to be affiliated with my university or college? And last year that was a requirement, but we've now expanded the definition of advisor to include someone who's your community partner. So in other words, that might be the director of a program or something like that. So yeah, so that just as long as it's either someone affiliated with your college or university or someone who's a community partner. And essentially someone who's going to be involved, committed to guiding you through the process as mentors.
Absolutely. Don't hesitate to contact us if you have a question about who qualifies as an igniteCS advisor.
And an interesting question that we got was, can we mentor other undergraduates? And you know, the answer is you can. And you know, we don't want you to not have the ability to tutor, to bring up that ability and educate others around you, but keep in mind that this main primary focus is still to bring CS in terms of CS mentoring to the local community. So you can, of course, help and mentor other undergrads, but it won't be the primary goal. And you want to make sure that you're extending past and you're creating a community impact in your program.
Absolutely. So some groups that have kind of done this hybrid model before, they choose to mentor their peers, other undergraduates at their college or university. And so, there's the first mentor group who mentors the other undergraduates, and then they form a larger mentor group who all goes out into the community together to work with those K-12 mentees, whoever you choose to deliver your mentorship to. So you can do that kind of two-step process, but it's really important that your igniteCS program extends beyond your university in its mentorship.
Mm-hmm.
I think another question that we receive, I guess I have the funding theme today, is we have an existing program. My student organization is already running a mentorship program, or our community partner already has a great after-school program with robotics. We want to use our igniteCS funds to expand on a program that already exists. We're not creating a brand new program. Is that okay? The answer is absolutely. We definitely want you to leverage existing success in your community. But what we'll be looking for in your application in that instance is why igniteCS funding and programming will make the difference in enhancing the impact of that existing program. And what you plan to do to expand the program as opposed to kind of continuing as it's already going. So definitely be sure to spell out how you are enhancing the program that already exists and adding more value by joining as an igniteCS team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and another question we get sometimes is, can our community partner be an elementary school? And the answer is absolutely yes. It doesn't have to be just middle through high school, K through 12. And we would just remind you too, as you're thinking about mentoring younger kids, to be aware of what kind of curriculum, what kind of activities are going to be appropriate there. How is your mentorship maybe going to look a little bit different when you're working with much younger kids than versus older kids? And that's the kind of question you can also send my way as well.
Absolutely. And I'll wave a big flag for our new partner, Goldie Blocks. They have those pre-packaged kindergarten through third grade instructional materials that igniteCS programs who are accepted receive a discount for. So if you're interested in mentoring younger students and not sure where to get started, head over to goldieblocks.com, take a look at their curriculum packs, and see if that's something that would work well for you and your team. What else do we have?
Oh yeah, another one is can our program start in spring of 2017? And yes, absolutely, you can use the funds you get for this cycle of fall 2016 to fund a program through June 30th of 2017.
Yeah, you'll actually see on the application where you enter the first date of your igniteCS mentorship session and the last date. It has to be between October 17th, 2016 and June 30th, 2017. The reason being that when we have all of the programs running at the same time and ending by a certain date, that means that we can give you the most help. Some igniteCS programs from the last cycle applied for funds in December, January, and didn't want to run their program until this October. So it's hard to give them the attention that they need as an igniteCS program. So we really want to have everyone on a similar cycle so that the igniteCS team can be best prepared to help you, so that you can work with other igniteCS teams on the ground. So you can run anytime between October and June of the 2016-17 school year. Another question that we've gotten, and it is actually completely exciting to me, community partners have reached out to us and they're like, I'm an educator at a middle school and I really want an igniteCS program to come and deliver mentorship to my students. Or I'm a nonprofit after school program. We have a wide range of diverse students who come to hang out with us after their school day, and they're all really looking to do something with programming. So if you are a community partner who wants an igniteCS program at your institution, reach out to us. We can help you find a local college or university to work with, but also just start reaching out directly to those colleges and universities. Look for professors or department chairs of computer science departments. Look for offices of student or community engagement. Tell them that there's this really awesome program, igniteCS, that you want those college students to participate in, and that you're already solving part of the equation by being an interested community partner. So start doing that outreach to local colleges or universities, and of course contact us. We have some emails, some flyers that we can give to you to send along to help you reach out. What else do we have?
So one of the questions, how can I ensure positive interaction when reaching out to my community partner? And so one of the things that we want to make sure that you guys can keep in mind is that we want to leverage existing relationships and, the multiple contacts, the people that you have in your network, and the collateral that you can get from us will be able to help you set that up. So again, it's not you going out and reaching out to the communities and doing everything on your own. If you need help, if you need that letterhead, that trust assurance, that Google is by your side, we will be there and we will help you any way that we can so that we can get you connected to your community partner.
Absolutely. And just like for community partners reaching out to colleges and universities, if you're in igniteCS program, reaching out to community partners, like Bon said, we can send along a letter on official Google letterhead. We have flyers for you to distribute for recruiting mentors and mentees. Let us know how we can help you ensure that the community partner understands what you're trying to accomplish with your program so that hopefully they say yes.
Yes. And actually a question very related to that is, we know the deadline's coming up on Sunday. Maybe you've been in the midst of talking to some schools and doing a little bit of that outreach, but you don't have firm plans yet. You don't have someone who said, yes, not a full committal. Can you still apply? Yes, don't let that discourage you. If you do have, as we've said, met all of the eligibility requirements, and you can fill out a lot of the application, as we've said, and that's just the one piece missing, go ahead and apply and just mention that you are still in conversation with, such and such school, or reaching out to several schools to let us know that is in the works.
Absolutely. Another really kind of precise question that we've received is, so we're applying for one cycle of funds, but we're going to use those funds for 2 cycles of programs. So say a school is going to run 10 sessions, but they can run 10 sessions on $2,500. So since the maximum for igniteCS is $10,000, what you can do is say, all right, we're going to run 10 sessions in October with the same mentees, and then we're going to run 10 sessions in November with a different set of mentees. So we're going to apply for a total of 20 sessions of funding. So we're going to apply for $5,000 of igniteCS funding. That's awesome. We love being able to see programs who are thinking strategically about using their funding. In that instance, when you're applying to buy your 10 robots for the one session, you can reuse that for the second session. So there's all fantastic kinds of ways that you can leverage igniteCS funds to reach as many mentees as possible. But what we do ask for in the application is, what is the number of sessions you're going to be hosting? So if one iteration of igniteCS is 10 sessions, but you're applying for funding for 2 iterations, we want to know the maximum number of sessions that you plan to run with your igniteCS funds. So if you're applying for funding for 20 sessions, put down 20 sessions. If you're going to run 5 workshops 5 different times, then you're running 25 sessions as far as the igniteCS team is concerned. We're looking for that upper number of sessions that you plan to execute with 1 application's worth of igniteCS funding. I think that's almost everything. We actually did receive one more question this morning, which is, how do we know if our application has been received? I know after you put so much time and energy into a resource like an igniteCS application, you don't want it to get eaten by the internet. So the process of submitting your application is brand new this year. So last year it was on Google Forms, and you submit the form and you get a message that says response recorded. But this year we have a new application tool that gives a lot more control for applicants. So you've finished your 4 sections, that submit application button pops up, you're going to hit submit application. That'll take you to a new screen where you agree to some Google terms of service and you hit submit once more. That's submitting your application. Then you'll be redirected back to your application overview where you can see all of the information that you submitted, and there will be a big notice that says application status submitted. And you actually have the ability to revoke your submission anytime up until 11:59 p.m. Pacific time on September 18th. So if you submitted your application and realized you forgot to tell us something, not a problem. Go ahead and hit withdraw application. You can make all your edits and submit it again. Of course, that withdraw functionality does end after the application deadline. So if you have any questions about whether or not, final finishing touches on your application, questions about the tool, anything, please contact us. We are here to make sure that your application has all of its questions answered. Okay. I think we made it. Is that all the questions that you guys came with?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
For now.
All right. So thank you, everyone, for joining us for our Hangouts on Air for the Fall 2016 funding cycle of igniteCS. They are archived on our YouTube channel, so please take a look at all of the programming that we've put out to learn a little bit more about the specifics of running an igniteCS program. As we mentioned at the beginning, applications close this coming Sunday, September 18th at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. And funding decisions should be announced by the end of October. So keep an eye on your inbox. And we are so excited to see what you guys have put together. I know I can't wait. Like, I'm just waiting to get in on Monday morning and see everything. All right. Any final thoughts for our viewers?
Don't forget to push submit. And if you do withdraw and need to change some parts of your application, again, don't forget to hit submit again. You will have to do that. So we're excited.
Can't wait. Yeah. Don't forget to contact us with your questions. Check out the website, g.co/ignitecs. We are already so proud of the work that you've been doing for your applications. So we can't wait to see everything come together. All right. Thanks again for joining us. Cheers.